Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's talk about SEI. It's been a while since I looked at SEI and this was my last analysis. I did say that the possibility of SEI retesting on this trend line was pretty high, but unfortunately we had this massive crash in the market and it actually ended up hitting like a historic low of like 6. I think it was like 6.8 cent, and its launch price is somewhere around 6.4, so it nearly hit that. Anyways, now let's look at it, what is happening with the SEI, and we'll also look at its price at the end. Now as of now, SEI is in the news, so the reason is because like BlackRock, Apollo, PayPal, and even like Brave and Howard tokenized fund launched on SEI, and that is massive news. And that means like they are going like really hard on the tokenization, and I think this could be really big for the SEI like in the future. But as of now, they have had like just a new launch of BlackRock, Brave, Howard, and like Apollo, so I think that's really good overall for the SEI in general. But as of now, SEI has yet to basically crack like top 10 like in terms of like blockchain. So if you look at like RWA league table, we have Ethereum, Zcash, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Aptos, Solana, Stellar, BNB, and XRP Ledger. We don't have like SEI yet, so SEI has to break this again. I don't think that RWA app actually tracks SEI, as they have yet to list like SEI here in the BlackRock fund, as you can see. But again, I think this is a really big news, and this will have a really good impact on the SEI in the long term, I think. But before that, we have some other news as well. So basically, Circle's gateway went like live on the Hyper EVM from like Hyperliquid, SEI Network, Solid Labs, and Virgin. So I think that is another like really good news for like SEI in general. So overall, I think this is like a really good news for the SEI in general as well. Now after that, we have like SEI's TVL. So this is how it looks like. So the TVL has seen a little bit of a dip after hitting like a new all-time high back in July, and as of now it is at 458 million. Still, it's really good. And in terms of like their stablecoin market cap, that has also gone down, so that is not good, I think. But again, overall it has been doing really well overall, I would say in terms of their partnerships and in terms of their like ecosystem. Now the only issue with the token itself as of now are these token unlocks on a monthly basis. So as of now, the total allocation of the investors was like 2 billion as well as for the team, and now as of now the investors have received like around 1 billion, as you can see here, and like team has received around 777 million. So they have yet to receive like more, like around slightly more than a billion tokens. So that means SEI will definitely feel this pressure in the long term, especially like in 2026 2027, because these investors will basically investors in the team will get their total allocation like in by August of I think 2027. So it means we have like this 2-year window. We will most likely see a massive like sell pressure on the SEI, and it's not looking good, because if you look here, so starting from August of 2024, so if we just go back to August, so this is when like the investors start to get their tokens. So this was the initial allocation. After that the token did go down, as you can see here, and after that we had a massive surge, and this was the earth season. And after that, because of after like this massive surge, there were like massive unlocks happening on a monthly basis, and that actually ended up like putting SEI as low as 13 cent. After that there was a lot of hype around the SEI, and it actually ended up going as high as 38 cent, but it couldn't even go near its all-time high, which is above 1.14, when its December high, which is like at 73 cent. And all of that happened is because of these massive unlocks, and the supply increased. And although the demand for the SEI actually was really high, but its supply just went parabolic, and because of that SEI like start to feel this sell pressure. And I think this will continue because we have yet to see these tokens come out. So I think I think what this means is that SEI will face a lot more sell pressure. So again, in the long term, I think this token is not looking good, but in the short term, I think it can basically go up because of these like different announcements that they have had. So I think that could be really big. But as of now, if we look at its price, if it had closed above from this trend line, I would have thought that there was a hope. But again, it can still pull that as well, so it can just like regain this, and we may eventually see this massive breakout from this blue trend line. And if that breakout does happens, I think like it can again go for that like 35 cent to like 39 cent. If that happens, we may be looking at like 48 cent level if it does breaks above from this. But again, there is another resistance that it does need to overcome, which is going to be somewhere around 26 to 24 cent, and I think this is really strong resistance. So if it can like flip this level, so I will just delete everything that is basically. So if it can flip this resistance as of now, so let's say that if it flips this, we may see a really good breakout, and if that happens, it may eventually go as high as 35 cent or even like 38 cent, and after that it can go for that like 48 cent. But again, before that it does need to overcome this 26 cent as well as 30 cent as 30 cent mark, because these are really strong resistance, I would say, for the SEI. But overall, there have been a lot of positive news around the SEI, I would say. So if market stabilizes, let's say that BTC like becomes stable, it doesn't go down or like it just goes sideways, I think that could give really chance to these different altcoins such as SEI and some other ones. And if that happens, we may see a really good, like I would say, we may see really good like bounce back from the SEI. That can happen. But again, if BTC continues to go down, we have to look at like 15 cent or even like possibly 13 cent, the next like line of support. And if these don't hold, we may eventually go as low as 9.5 cent. Again, this is I think a really good entry, like a really good entry for this token around 9.6. If not, I think like if it does go as low as 13 cent, that is another really good entry for the SEI as well. Anyways, we'll see when the time comes. Thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.